So a lot of my videos are everywhere because my life is everywhere, because my life is not consistent, my life is not stable, my life is far from fair. Do I get everything that I deserve? That's up for an argument. But when it comes to my dad's death, about feeling guilt and feeling like, what the fuck? Not desperation, not hopelessness, but just like the grief. You know, like, it really goes from things that I feel like could have been prevented. Not his death, because I'm a strong believer in, if you're meant to die, you're gonna fucking die. Don't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter your health. It doesn't matter. If you are meant to die, you're gonna die. Like, that's just it. We all know we're gonna die. We know that this is the only life that we have, and every day we make choices, whether fully thought out or not fully thought out, but every day we make choices. And I wouldn't say it's a domino effect, but your choices have consequences, good or bad consequence. And then the next step, something as easy as waking up on time, waking up later, that one decision can transform your entire day. Now, first I was stressed about the money situation. My dad was the kind of person who would tell everyone that everything is fine and not to worry and whatever, but him not paying something isn't surprising. And then I got his death certificate and learned things that, like, he died of a massive heart attack, but he also had 2 other diseases that I didn't know about. I didn't know, right? And I didn't know yet because I am his caregiver, but until very recently, he took himself to his doctor's appointments. He is very much, and that's the thing about being independent, the thing about being macho, the thing about, I take care of myself. When you do that, then the people around you, if they don't know. And they can't help you. It wasn't until very recently where I got a calendar and was just like, what appointments do you have? What days? Oh, well, I like to drive in the morning. Do it after I drive. Or by the time he gets home, because he found parking, now he doesn't want to go to his appointment. Or because he forgot his appointment, he drove, which was needed because he wanted to make money. So, and I feeling so many mixed emotions with my dad because of just our relationship with each other, and feeling resentment, feeling anger, feeling betrayed, but also at the same time loving my dad, being happy to hear his voice, and having that good relationship with my dad. Because my relationship with my dad wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was our relationship. And take the good with the bad. He made his choices, I made my choices. right? And I learned that with life insurance, we think like, oh, well, we could use money now that, you know, we're living because it's life insurance, you know, about that. Or we just put it away because the day we die, we want to make sure that our loved ones don't have that burden. But then I was doing more research, and a lot of times life insurance, they won't pay out because when you had got life insurance, they had asked you some questions, and those answers might have changed. And so they're like, oh, well, you didn't update this. Oh, I thought that was like a picture. So even the whole idea of life insurance is shit. Maybe they would have been like, no, sorry, we can't disperse. And then I would have been even more mad. Because what the fuck do you mean? He's been paying this all this time and you guys are not going to cash out? Yeah, so I would have been more upset about that than just learning, like, oh no, he stopped paying. Huh, yeah, that makes sense. It's upsetting and financially put me in a bind that I'm not used to being, because I proudly and 100% was like, I'm good. Like, and then for that not to be reality anymore is like, oh, fuck. But just with death, like, my dad told me, we had these conversations, he was okay to die. He didn't want to be living. There's a reason why we never had weapons in the house, etc., etc. And my dad never took care of his health. He never listened to anybody telling him, simply sit down, just take a deep breath, wait, watch TV, I will go, just give me a second, you know. So that has been fine, and every day has been easier. If it sucks. I'm in this world not only like without my mom, but without my dad. And there's people in the world but it's like, who am I to say what you deserve and what you don't deserve, you know? And who am I, like, well, not judge, but it's like, so many people out here have both of their parents or have one parent at least, and they just deliberately are not there for them. And I can understand that it might be difficult because of whatever shit you're going through, or, you know, you're just focusing on your own life, you know. But every day has gotten a little bit better, and I'm still young to where, like, I'm still able to finish my original goals before he got sick and I paused my life. Like, I just got off of work, like, I'm still working, you know, like, so I'm not going to our apartment, but, you know, I have my own apartment in this building, in our building, you know, so things have been stable. It's kind of uncomfortable, it's kind of tight, There's 3 of us in the studio right now, but that's fine. That's temporary. That's an easy change. My kid's life is still very stable. Same things that she was interested in and doing and whatnot, she's still doing. That hasn't stopped. So it's really just not accepting, or I guess accepting that he's gone, and that's what happened. If I was meant to be there, I would have been there. If my daughter was meant to find him that way, she would have found him that way. Because I have this question in my head. Like, the last time I saw him, he was in the bathroom. Shauna was kind of up, but she was getting ready for she was in bed. And he said, I'll see you tomorrow. What time? Between 7 and 8. Okay, Mona, tomorrow we have to make a doctor's appointment. I need to see my physical therapist. My arm is killing me. Yes, Daddy. And his arm has been killing him. And he told multiple doctors, and he was in a hospital for like a month. And we had nurses come to the home. Like, he was very verbal about like being in pain, and everyone was like, oh, okay, like, oh, okay, your arm is sore. Yeah, you probably stepped on it funny. And it's like, clearly something more. But that's like not my responsibility. Like, I did what I can do. I did everything for my dad, and that's all I could do. Like, I was there. My question was, when exactly did he pass? Because said bye, I have food, I left. I'm not sure if he said Mona or something, because he usually, like, when I was leaving, he would like yell at me, and I always hated that. So I stopped responding, because I would respond and he'd be like, oh, nothing, or I forgot, or he'll say something silly. It was never anything important. So anyway, I took food. I had my plate, went to my apartment, ate dinner, was watching a movie. Later on, had guests. This whole time, there's not a call. There's nothing. In the morning, in the middle of the night, I had changed. I was wearing like a gown. I had changed into a shirt and some shorts. Went back to sleep. Got up to make my coffee. Something told me to go check on my dad. I went to go check on my dad, and I found him. It looked like he was climbing into bed, but his phone was charged. His chair was moved. Looked like he had a rough night. There was like vomit on the floor, but he looked like he was just tired, and he was just trying to get into bed, and then he just froze, because when you die, you just freeze. And I found him like that. He wasn't cold, so there's no reason for me to think that he was dead long. His death certificate says 8:32 he passed away, but actually he was dead when I got there. I don't know how long. But no one was like, oh yeah, he was been dead for hours. He died overnight. Like, no one said anything like that. They were pretty much like, I'm sorry for your loss. Time of death, 8:32. Like, we're gonna call it. And then The police came, and then the mortuary came to pick up his body. Then I had the meeting with the mortuary, and then all of that happened. My daughter was in the room, and I was upset with her because how do you wake up in the morning and not check up on grandpa and not look to see if he's home or anything, you know? And she's like, I woke up, I got ready for school, I left for school, I thought it was a regular day. Like, sometimes he's not even home, like, and it's true, sometimes he's not. Sometimes he goes to the donut shop, sometimes he goes drive Lyft, you know, early in the morning. So, you know, nothing told her to go check, or maybe something told her not to check and she just didn't. And so, like, I asked her several times to walk me through, okay, you woke up, you went to the bathroom, okay, then what you do, and then what did you do, and what did you do? And I went over the scene like a fucking detective because I was confused and I was hurt and I was upset, and I was like how the fuck do you wake up and not check on your grandpa? Like, what the fuck? You know, I'm still like, what the fuck? But my kid, like, also knowing my kid, like, I wouldn't want her to find grandpa dead like that. What the fuck, right? Like, who knows how that would have fucked her up. You know, so I feel like how everything happened was meant to happen in that sense. If I was meant to stay a little bit longer, I would have sat down and ate dinner at his apartment. He had a dining table, chair. I could have sat and ate there. You know, sometimes I would have an urge to check on him in the middle of the night. I didn't get that urge in the middle of the night to check on him. Sometimes my dad would ask me, oh, stay for a bit. And I would for a little bit. And he didn't. He said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And so it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's just, it sucks. You know, but he could have died during an operation. He was preparing for heart surgery, which is another reason why I don't know if life insurance would have paid out, because he was preparing for heart surgery. Like, he was having shit happen. So sometimes life insurance doesn't pay out. You know, I did right by him. You know, I can say that. And he's not here in body anymore, but we have pictures, we have videos, we have our memories. I do have his ashes. He wanted to die at home. He was at home. He didn't want Shauna to see him like that. Shauna didn't see him like that. So he wanted me to take care of everything. I took care of everything. And that's what that is. Good night. And I'm doing laundry. But, like, you know how my dad just passed away. It's pretty much all I've been talking about. He passed away in October. And at first I was like, well, I'm not going through the stages of grief. And I was stressing out, and I was feeling so guilty over the fact of life insurance, right? And now today is January. My phone's right here, but I don't have my watch on me. Today is January 11th. And so I've had time. This is fine. I've had time to, like, those are way too short for her. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I've had time to really think things through and like do research and stuff. And so because of my dad's prior health conditions and the fact that he was prepping for heart surgery, there's a good chance that his life insurance could have been denied, right? That they wouldn't have paid out anyway, right? I don't know if I said that before, but I'm just gonna say that. And then also, he knew he had a daughter. He knew he had a granddaughter. He knew his health condition. Why didn't he take the precaution? And it's because that's the kind of man he was. He was a shit. We'll figure that shit out when that shit happens. And it's just like, you can't figure shit out when you're dead. But okay, I'll figure it out. You got it. Like, you know. But it's been okay. These are just gonna go in the trash because these are stained. Like, that's insane. Like, so I've gotten to the acceptance part of the grief, I believe, especially when it comes to money. And it's just so easy to be so stressed and worried about money, you know, and especially like when it was 3 of you in a 1-bedroom apartment, but it was a big 1-bedroom apartment. We fit 2 full beds in that, and her dressers and a TV and a TV stand and her computer desk. Like there was room, you know. It was a big 1-bedroom, to a studio with 3 people, because, you know, now we have her sister. So, you know, we have me and my daughter and Mariana. And it's like, you know, 30, 20, and 14 years old. Like, there's a lot of clothes, there's shoes, there's a lot of stuff, you know. I have majority of stuff in storage at Clutter. I opened another storage right here, public storage. Because I'm going to end up closing out Clutter and just getting a bigger one at public storage, because I like Clutter because they come to your house. Like, this shirt is like cut, and it's just like, why are you cutting your fucking shirts? Like, what, like, anyway. But she likes this, so like, yeah. So Clutter comes and packs up your stuff, and they take it, you know, to their location, and so that's good. It's convenient for someone who doesn't have an elevator, and who, you know, if you're storing stuff, you know, 9 out of 10, you don't use it every day. You probably don't even, you know, use it. So when you do need it, you call them and they bring it back, but that's another fee, you know? And now it's just like, we have so much stuff, and we have my stuff, and we have my kids' stuff, and we have Mariana's stuff. And it's like, it'll just be easier and save money, honestly, to just be able to walk to the storage, because the storage is around the corner from the apartment, you know. And then slowly, you know, move the stuff that we really want into our home, and you know, they have a dumpster, you know, throw away the shit that we don't want. Yeah. So, and there's other companies that, you know, will go with you to your storage and pack it up onto a truck and, you know, do all that stuff. Companies, friends, whatever, family, whatever, you know, there's ways around it. I think even Clutter would help that with moving, because the storage, moving, and whatever, you don't have to have your stuff stored with them for them to move, because sometimes people don't have a storage, they just need their things moved. So that just didn't make sense. So this is like a combination of what's going on in my life and my realization of the whole money shit. The car, I left the car at the auto shop. My idea of the car. Okay, so when I was parked and car jerk ran into me, I'm thinking AAA, take it to the auto shop. The auto shop in the morning, because it was like closing time, is going to do their evaluation. They're going to contact me and say, hey, are you going to pay this, or is the insurance going to pay this? And then I most likely would have paid for the damages myself and then had the insurance go ahead and reimburse me. That was my idea. And so my car would have been there maybe a week or so, which still would have been pricey. It would have been, because it was like $100 a day for the storage, right? But at least I would have been looking forward to the reimbursement of at least the auto repair, right? So that's like another reason. But ultimately what I should have done was just have AAA tow it to my parking spot, and in the parking structure. That was, my mistake. But also, like, Ghana is a horrible car dealership, and Sam has told me several times that he thinks that it was just like a bad deal that my dad got, so we were probably just paying off the interest and not the actual loan. And my dad passed away, so everything was his mind. I could have renegotiated all that, but like also my dad just died, like didn't want to deal with shit. So it's all, and then like it was just really expensive. Like I don't have my dad's income anymore. Like I'm surviving off of half of my fucking income right now. Like I'm still fucking surviving. And I'm still retired from the game. Like I'm not even seeing guys. Like I'm just living. Because mentally, like I'm not, like I don't want to. Physically, I'm like I don't want to. And it's just like I also don't want to date, because like guys are like so interested in me, but they don't know how to ask, and they don't know how to plan out, and they don't know how to do nothing. And it's just like because they don't want to, because the only thing they want to do is have sex. So it's just so fucking like stupid. At the end of the day, it's fucking stupid. And that's just really what's going on right now. I have a new friend. Yeah, Abe, one of my brothers, girlfriend. She's cool. I like her. We bonded. I was like hanging out. She's my neighbor. She moved into Jules' old apartment, and came over, and we were hanging out from like 9 o'clock until like midnight. And we were drinking, and I got to know her. Like we were talking about like childhood stuff, talking about her parents, like really like bonding. So I have a lot of love for her. So I made a new friend. What else? I think we covered. Nah, that's pretty much what's going on. All right, bye. Okay, we are January 13th, and you see my daughter's old room. My dad's apartment is completely vacated, empty, been that way since November. They have not started working on it, and you can tell they haven't started working on it. And you can tell there's no residents, because this window is still very much open. That's like the maintenance guy's job. The screen is not there, shit like that. So like that's how you can tell. And just how the owner was such a dick about like having us vacate the unit. Like if someone was gonna rent out the apartment automatically, like if Mauricio was going to renovate it automatically, it's another, like, why rush me? What was the fucking reason? Like that's just like so fucked up. And like this upsets me. Like we have this whole big fucking apartment just empty, and we're cramped in the studio. And he, like, so this is telling me, even if I did pay the deposit, this unit still wouldn't be available. You know what I mean? Like, this, like, so ridiculous. Like, he was really rushing, like if someone was just gonna like automatically move in. Like, that is just the craziest, rudest shit. Like, it's not even like, oh, you know, you haven't paid rent in 3 months. It was not like, my dad paid rent October 1st. He died October 3rd. We were out November 1st, but we actually had until December 1st because October's rent was paid, and then the security deposit would have went to November's rent. Therefore, we would have been able to stay into at least December, and that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so ridiculous. It's just ugh.